And there will be many other interesting programs about the lives of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam and his companions, history of Islam, history of Ahmadiyya, and also controversial issues as we see them against the others, other mainstream Muslims and so on. So just wait for that program to begin, and inshallah quite a few of the problems which you mentioned will begin to dissipate, because already we are observing with the grace of Allah many big changes taking place in some remote areas where I never could visit and they could never come to meet me. I have started receiving letters that we were Ahmadis, but we did not know what Ahmadiyyat was, and we had no enthusiasm for Ahmadiyyat. Now after watching MTA for a few days, we are transformed people. So everywhere with the grace of Allah, this miraculous change is taking place. Why not in San Francisco? This is no life, this half-hearted approach. It is something, a state between life and death. There is no pleasure in it. That is drudgery. Drudgery in religion can never survive. Either you have to fall on this side or to the other. And most people in this state of drudgery, I call it drudgery, because where to do good thing is labor, where it is exacting on you, where there is no deep real pleasure in doing good. That is what I call drudgery. And the drudgery cannot last long. If you remain loyal, your children will not remain loyal. They will drift away. So this state is not acceptable. And I hope you will, all of you who can afford, will install the antenna which will bring the international MTA to your homes. And we have worked out everything for you with the grace of Allah. The cost of antenna which will receive this program ideally, can you imagine how cheap it is, or expensive some of you may think? It's less than $200. For less than $200 to have daily instructive, educational, useful programs, I don't think is a price too high to pay, or beyond the scope of any American family. So start working for it immediately, because the time is coming very close now, inshallah. Only we are waiting for some clearances from the government, licensing, that sort of thing. We hope and pray that we will get that license very soon. Then inshallah everywhere, even Carl sitting in his beautiful Yosemite Park will be with me, and also will be able to show his father what we do and how we think and how we live, right? Inshallah. I hope I have answered your question effectively, huh? Right? Good. Next question, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Huzur. My name is Bashir Haq. I'm from Bangladesh.
Yes.
I just came last night from Los Angeles.
Yes, Bashir Haq, I know you very well. Please go on.
Thank you. First is, I called you for yesterday to Bangladesh, and I talked to my mom. My mom was sick, and she was taking one of your medicine. The medicine name was antin-crude.
What?
Antin-crude.
Antimonium crude.
Yes, something.
Right, yes.
She had khasi, both khasi tha, and sath ulti bhi aa jate tha.
No, this is not the drug for that.
But I don't know, she was taking, and
this is not the medicine. She has to write to me the symptoms fully, completely.
Okay.
And then inshallah I'll prescribe something for her. Okay. If you know the symptoms,
okay,
then tell the private secretary and I'll prescribe it before leaving this place.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you. And the second question is, I had a friend like a year ago, and that friend asked me that question, that if Holy Quran is the last law,
yes,
and the Prophet Muhammad is the perfect prophet and greatest prophet,
yes,
so why there is another prophet after him?
Okay.
And the question was, if we follow the Holy Quran and the Prophet Muhammad, will be a good Muslim.
Yes.
So why need to...
I'll explain that.
Okay, thank you.
You see, this question has been dealt by me ends of time, innumerable times. But because again the lack of contact between you and us, if you had been a viewer of MTA, you would not ask this question. You would have answered this question instead. First of all, there is no prophet after Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam. This should be understood. What is meant by after? In time or against? It can be understood differently. But I'll not go into all the detail of the meaning Baad as he is referring to. I'll just simply tell him that Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Rasulullah knew Islam better, or this questioner knew Islam better? This is the first question. If he knew Islam better, Hazrat Rasulullah, of course he knew. Then knowing that there was a complete book, code of conduct in the Quran, and knowing that he was the last prophet as he claimed, this boy, why did he prophesy for Jesus Christ to come again? Why did he prophesy for Al-Mahdi, the Imam appointed by Allah, to come? Did he not know the meaning of Islam? Was he not aware that the book Quran was complete? Ask him and tell me the answer if he has any. He who was the recipient of the verse Khatam al-Nabiyyin, he tells his own followers that a time would come when Islam would be about to die, as if it had finished off. And who would save Islam from death? Not the Quran, who will be still there. Not the Quran alone, but a prophet of Allah who would be sent by Allah. No, he calls him a prophet of God as well in so many words. He says, Masih ibn Maryam, he will come, and he says, then Nabiullah, Masih, Nabiullah would do this, Nabiullah would do that. 4 times in a single hadith he uses the word Nabiullah. So this person is more sensitive to the term Nabiullah than Muhammad Rasulullah himself. That reminds me of a saying in Urdu which says, "Maa se zyada chahe phapha kutni kehlaye." Any woman who apparently loves a child more than the mother is a false, wanton woman. He couldn't be the real mother. You cannot love somebody's child more than the real mother does. So Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah loved the Quran, the God, and his own status far more than any modern mullah or anybody can ever claim. Yet knowing all these things, he said the things which I am going to quote again now to you. I said, I mentioned these in brief, but I am going to quote a full hadith. He says, "Sayati ala nasi zamanun la yabqa min al-Islam illa ismuhu wa la yabqa min al-Quran illa rasmuhu masajiduhum amiratun wa hiya kharabu min al-huda ulama'uhum sharru man tahta adimi as-sama." Muhammad Rasulullah, who knew he was the last, who knew the book was complete, he said, unfortunately, a time is going to come, an age is going to dawn, which will be so dark. Sajati al-Nazman lam yakun, kya?